Yo, we alive. We back. What's good, Selina? I see you. Yo, man, episode 8 of WandaVision.
If you can already tell, I'm in my freaking feels.
Yeah, it brings the feels. It brings the feels.
Oh my God. Like I already know I'm gonna break down a couple times, and forgive me or don't. I don't care.
honestly, but yo,
I already have the tissue ready.
look, get your tissues ready, get all of that ready. We're about to unpack this thing. We're about to get into this. We're gonna unravel episode 8, which honestly gave you like all the answers to all the questions that you had. It gave you all the exposition that you needed. You even got like some retcons. You even got like some revelations, and you got what you needed out of episode 8. And it's the perfect episode right before the finale. Yeah, it got you in them feels. You had a couple woosah moments in this one.
You know how long it took me to watch this
episode? Say it again.
Do you know how long it took me to watch this episode?
Yeah, this one.
It took me like an hour and 20 minutes just to get through one 40-minute episode. Like I kept having to pause it. A couple of lines had me like,
I got a couple lines that like I was like, oh, y'all going for the heartstrings on this one. y'all coming at us. You can tell that this episode was different. It threw the whole rhythm off. Like, look, I didn't even do the intro. Obviously, this is Cinema Rehab, presented by Back to the Classics. It's me, D Brown. I got Selina right there with me.
Emotional Selina today.
Yeah. We not saucy Selina today. We emotional Selina today. This episode, it doesn't stress you out, but it kind of puts everything in proper perspective on kind of Wanda, where Wanda was emotionally when obviously she created the Hex, because she created a whole, kind of like pocket reality. She bended reality to make herself feel better. Yeah, for real. and the town of Westview just happened to become victims in that ordeal. Just let's not forget there are hostages in this situation. I always try to everybody be like, oh my God, I feel so sad for Wanda. I'm like, them people are literally glitching.
But
on the other side of town that needs to be released.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but they all look freaking sad too.
Yeah. So, oh man, I love that. I love that you brought that up. Like when she's driving through the town and all that, like she observed like what type of town this was. Definitely. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
We'll definitely cross that bridge when we get to it.
Definitely. This episode was called Previously On. And the synopsis was Wanda embarks on a troubling journey, revisiting her past for insight into her present and her future. Plain and simple. If you read that and then you see her and Agatha like in the thumbnail, you knew like what kind of episode you were getting into. This thing starts off with like a recap of all the things that she went through. We're talking about Fietro dying. We're talking about Vision dying. I said, okay, the recap is letting you know that Wanda's been through some things,
Recap to the recap, like how her parents passed away. Why is she so obsessed with these TV shows?
Yeah.
Everything.
It got you there.
You even get the background on Agatha.
Yeah.
Like she absorbed all these witches' powers, and that's how she became so powerful herself.
But I like that. I like that opening, by the way. Like
it was very good.
It did the Marvel logo, and then once the Marvel logo turned purple, I said, "Oh man, Agatha's about to have this whole episode in a chokehold." I already know it. And they always complain. What's the main complaint is Marvel's not dark enough. Marvel obviously doesn't push the envelope. Nah.
Yeah, no, they didn't They do. They have always pushed that envelope. Come on.
They got some moments. They got some moments where I'm like, okay, like that whole Salem, which now we can timestamp this. 1963 Salem is a timestamp now in the Marvel universe. So if you want to start watching things in order, you gotta have to start with WandaVision, because this literally is like the first thing that's happening. Yeah.
Season 1, episode 8 of WandaVision, and then Captain America.
Yeah, you can watch all the other movies. Definitely. Just watching how Agatha was just begging her mom, and her mom was the main witch. Like, Mom, don't do this. I just wanted to learn. She said, nah, you tapping into some dark powers, dark magic that we don't play when it comes to that. And the whole sister,
and she's begging for a second chance.
Yeah.
And her mom didn't even give her a second chance. Like all the other witches started like absorbing everything from her, and she absorbed it right back. Yeah. And then after she absorbed all of that, she's like, Mom, please. And her mom was like, mm-mm. And she was like, all right, fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Take all your powers too.
Not feeling it at all. What's crazy about that scene is it was well done. It looked graphic. Like all the witches, after they got turned into prunes, she slim jimmed everybody. Everybody was done. It felt like you were watching like a creepy episode of like what's that show? American Horror Story. It felt like you was watching something like that a little bit, like the Coven ones, like the ones with the magic and stuff.
It was like American Horror Story Coven with some like Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, with just a little bit of creepiness of like Sam Raimi, just a little bit of like Sam Raimi's like Drag Me to Hell a little bit.
Yes.
Because Drag Me to Hell.
A lot of Drag Me to Hell.
Always got those type of vibes to it. That's what it felt like, especially because you were in the woods, and that was the aesthetics in the woods and everything. But it was definitely a different tone than we normally get, and it was cool to see Agatha kind of flex on her mom a little bit, and she was like, I can be good, and she said, no, you can't. You ain't gonna be good. No, you can't. And she immediately proceeded to kill her mom.
And who knows better than Mom?
Exactly. I like how right after she did that to Mom, she took Mom's little bling bling away from her, her little pendant. I said, okay. So I guess Agatha in her time of rising up, she was powering up a little bit. She was trying to assume the head witch role, which technically in theory she was assuming that role, but we're about to find out that there's a little bit more to that. There's powers that she's never seen before. There's stuff that has got her curiosity piqued. So it brings you like right back to where we left off in the last episode. We're in Agatha's basement now, and Wanda's like, yo, what's up? Where's my children? She said, where's my children, huh? I like how that accent like comes and goes all of a sudden.
Exactly. And like when I was watching all the Marvel movies in order before Endgame, I had even texted one of my friends. I was like, yo, what's going on with Wanda's accent? Like the more movies I watch with her in them, the less and less I'm hearing her accent. And he was like, oh, I never noticed that. And I'm like, how do you not notice that her accent is like totally gone all of a sudden? Or like it's faint here.
I love it though.
Here,
I love it though.
Gone. But it makes sense why, even like when she went through the hex and was like freaking telling Hayward, like, to back off and stand down and everything, her accent suddenly came back.
Yeah. It's
starting to make more sense why she's lost it throughout the movie and why suddenly she has it again.
It's perfect. I love it. I love the fact that they even addressed it. They addressed it more than once. They kept addressing it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I didn't read the articles, but I saw that they addressed it.
Yeah. No, they addressed it. They addressed it. They addressed it in this episode.
I did not read the articles because I was so afraid that it was going to spoil something for me, but I have them saved so that after episode 9, I'm going to read them.
this ain't even about articles or nothing. Like even Pietro said like this, hey, what's going on with your accent? Like they legitimately.
Well, she said, where's yours?
Yeah, it keeps driving it in. It keeps driving it just to let you know that we are aware that she changes her accent. And then later on in the episode, you get another drop when it comes to it as well. And then I think that was a safe play for them to do, just in case they try to pull a X-Men Storm. Like, okay, Halle Berry had a whole accent in the first movie. Now all of a sudden she ain't got no accent no more. At least with this one, they gave themselves, you know, at least something to land on. Like, okay, there's a reason why Wanda is able to have an English accent and then have her Sokovia accent. So kudos, Marvel. We seen you. We seen you on this one. We seen you. You peeled up. There's a couple things I want to talk about before we start time traveling and going back in time, you know, to the fields. Wanda was talking to the bunny again, and she was like this. What was that? Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, I know. She's kind of shocked that like we're talking like right in front of us, like type stuff. I thought that was clever because now that bunny is suspect. We don't know who the bunny is. The bunny could be. Oh, sorry, Agatha. My apologies. Agatha talking to that bunny is letting us know that that bunny is more than a bunny. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be anything. I'm not even going to say who you think I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is either that bunny could be one of her familiars, because you remember she said that Pietro is her eyes and ears, or that bunny could be your boy Senior Scratchy could be something important in the finale, and we'll get to that. Yeah, it could be somebody. No, we're not saying.
I know.
I won't say it no more. But hold on. The Mephisto rate is high though. It's probable. It's probable, but
he's not the bunny.
No, he's not the bunny. Hell no, he ain't the bunny. He's not the bunny. Out of all things that he's gonna be, he ain't gonna be the bunny. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not going to be the bunny. But I have that suspicion that Agatha is still working towards something. It's not just her goals, obviously, to find out what's going on in Westview. She's working towards something. There is a higher goal. So is there a higher villain? Maybe. But I don't think she's doing it all by herself. No, I don't think that's what's happening. Definitely.
No, not at all.
So she wants to know why everything is happening. She wants to know why the hex is happening. Agatha literally explains what drew her there, like a moth to the flame. She saw a whole bunch of magic just happening, and it's freestyle magic. This thing is on autopilot. She said, Wanda, I need to know how you're doing this. You got a whole town in sitcom mode. We got spells going on in different directions that you're not even in. I need to know what happened. The minute Wanda said, I don't know, Agatha was like, nah. I did that already. I played this game for 7 episodes. I want my answers. I'm the audience now. I want answers, yo.
I'm the one in control now.
Yeah. You're going to tell me what's good. Another thing that I picked up on, obviously, Wanda is unaware of what she is. She's unaware of the power that she possessed. From one witch to another witch, Agatha is schooling her, playing her on game like, baby, these are spells that you're doing. This is magic.
She even took her back to when her and Pietro were like little kids. And then her dad brings home all these DVDs of I Love Lucy, Bewitched. Like, it's literally explaining why each and every episode has been in a different decade, because this is what she literally grew up watching. And she finally gets to pick something, and she picks Dick Van Dyke. She's like episode 2 or season 2, episode 21. And Pietro's like, ugh, again.
Again? Yes, it is my favorite episode.
There's something going on to where she wants to keep watching this show. And as they're watching this show and she looks back at her parents, they're smiling, and she's like just happy. She's in her zone. She's in her happy zone, you know? And then boom, bomb.
Is
and
it
his name is on
me?
it.
Is it me, or every time something traumatic happens to like a hero in the Marvel universe,
It has to do with Stark.
it has to do with Tony Stark? Why does Tony Stark always got to be the reason for people's trauma?
But it's not Tony. At that point, it's his
I
dad.
know, I
It's
know, I
Howard.
know, I know.
And what was
Even
it that in the but even in the first Iron Man, when he
I know.
realizes everything that, like his dad has done, he's like, yeah, we're no longer making like war machines and all this like bombs for
Yeah.
the military
Also,
and stuff.
a lot of his weapons did also get, obviously taken into the wrong hands. Like Obadiah Stane was the
Exactly.
reason a lot of his weapons got into
This
the
is
wrong
the
hands.
number one reason Tony said we're not doing that anymore. Like we're out of that game and that's
Yeah,
it. And
definitely.
then, you know, we
But
all know what
but
happens
I'm
next.
I'm I'm noticing
But
I'm noticing a thread. I'm noticing a thread every time. Stark just got people already mad all the time. It was foreshadowed with that. It was foreshadowed with the Vulture. It was foreshadowed with your boy Mysterio. Like that's what I'm saying. Like no matter what,
with everybody.
everybody mad at Tony Stark at the same time. Two things. I'm gonna go backwards, but I'm coming right back forwards though. Two things that I noticed to get to that point to where they were getting to the each flashback, she took a piece of hair off of Wanda's head. I noticed I've
Yes.
seen that before in Doctor Strange. He did that to Thor when they were trying to look for Odin in New York. So magic works the same way. And I have another theory. If all of this dark magic is taking place, or chaos magic, as we'll get to that a little bit later, somebody has to know that this is happening in New Jersey. New Jersey ain't that far from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like Bleecker Street ain't that far on your radar.
So when I saw her take the piece of hair, I was like, brujeria. Oh my God.
Exactly.
But then
And it's
I
all
remember
Latin.
Doctor
It's all
Strange.
Latin. It's all Latin tongue. I love that. Like,
But then I remember Doctor Strange, and I was like, oh yeah, he like took a piece of his hair too. So
yeah,
like how is
yeah.
all of this tied together?
Definitely. But I think Agatha was letting her know that this rules is fundamentals to. That's why your magic don't even work down here. This is my basement. I got the protection spells up. This is my land. You don't. That red eyes shit, that's cute. But nah, we're not doing that today. Like, yeah, we're not doing none of that today. So this is what we're going to do. We're going back in the past. I need to know what started this whole thing. What molded you into what molded you? I love the fact that we got a chance to see that the dad, to kind of like shield them from what's going on outside in Sokovia. Sokovia is literally falling apart right under them. They obviously living poor, but all they got is these movies. All they got is these sitcoms. So it made sense that is her comfort zone. You know, Dick Van Dyke and Malcolm in the Middle and the Brady Bunch, and every show that she attached herself to, Bewitched and everything, that was her comfort zone. That was her happy place.
Exactly.
So it did make sense. And so I love the fact that we got a reasoning for that, because the first two episodes, everybody was, why the sitcom? Why is these sitcoms happening? Why is that? So now you got your reason for that. So let's put that to the side. When Wanda was under the bed, the bomb did not go off. Agatha was asking her, okay, the bomb didn't go off. What did you do? She's like this, I don't know. It just didn't go off. She said, no, honey, you did a nice little spell on that. That was you doing that. That's a probability spell. So now we've opened up a door to saying that Wanda had powers already. Now, she could either be a mutant, which everybody online is saying, oh, the mutant powers were there already, or B, she was destined to be a witch. She was going to be a witch regardless.
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
And it could be a little bit of both. And I'm agree with you. You know why? Because why did Fietro become a speedster? Something about that family, something about them. Something about them. So I'm with you.
Maybe that was bringing home all those sitcoms and everything to try and like
Yeah.
distract them from powers they've had.
Yeah.
Or maybe that Stark Industries bomb that never went off gave them more powers.
Hey, these are wild theories, but I think something dormant was there already. And I would love that it's just like the mutant gene in them, you know. And when they came in contact with their experimentation, which we're going into now, we go back into Age of Ultron, kind of a glimpse into the Hydra experimental phase. They literally sign up to be radicals. They literally sign up to be literally terrorists at this stage of the game. And Wanda walks into that room, and the Mind Stone is covered in blue, in the scepter, everything. But it looked like it actually comes out to her and it turns yellow, as you can see in my background right there. Explodes.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it turns into
even
something.
kind of see it here.
All that imagery. What's crazy about that is the Mind Stone reveals to her that she's destined to be the Scarlet Witch. I'm cool with that. And I love the imagery. I knew what it was when I saw it, you know, because they've been teasing it. She hasn't had a nickname. She hasn't had a superhero name, you know. Dickhead Hayward, which we'll get to him in a minute, said something like, oh, she doesn't have like a cute little nickname or anything. Well, I think moving forward, we're going to start referring to her and what she really is. If we go a little bit into that scene a little bit more on camera, they just seen her pass out. They didn't see what we saw. They didn't see that the Mind Stone opened something up for her. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
I like that. That was cool. That was real cool. That was real cool. You know what's sad about all of this? She didn't want to do any of this. Like, she was like, I do not want to go back in there. I don't even want to go. I don't want to. She's like, nah, honey, we're doing this. Like, you're going. Come on. It's your time. Since you want to be a superstar, come on.
And just like the rest of her life, she's forced into all this stuff.
She really is. She truly is. And every situation I notice, she's either isolated, she's by herself, and she always has a television. She's always isolated every time. Like, I've never seen such a strong character be so alone all the time. Like, and I think that's the saddest part about all of this. You went from being a traumatized kid to being a traumatized teenager to being a traumatized young woman. It's just like the trauma is following you everywhere you go. And that one comfort that you had, that one family that you had, you even lost him too, you know? So it's kind of tough.
Exactly the point.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to grasp that.
I said it from our first episode, like, of course she's going to be jaded and like possibly a villain now. Like, she's had literally everything taken from her.
Yeah.
Her parents, her brother, her family, her love.
Yeah.
And the only thing she ever had that was a constant was the TV, and now that's taken away.
Yeah. Well, that part. She said, "You're gonna take my TV away from me." As we leave now from the Hydra base, we go directly into is it Avengers Mansion, upstate New York?
Yes.
All right. So we get a glimpse of Wanda and Vision, kind of like in the beginning of their cupcake stage, you know. Obviously,
and this is where Malcolm in the Middle comes in.
Malcolm in the Middle, definitely. But I like the conversation that they had. It was very, you know, it was very kind of them, because they've been having this type of relationship since Civil War, as we saw right after Age of Ultron, the events that happened there. They immediately become superheroes after that. So now they have each other. Vision's used to being alone. He's a robot, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any family or anything. And then you have Wanda, who literally lost her brother, but she decided to switch her alliances. Now she's an Avenger, but she's at a critical stage. She's hurting right now. I just lost my bros. Who's going to be there for me? And honestly, nobody was there for her except Vision.
And that's a part that gets me so much. And I'm going to start crying.
Yeah,
I'm going to get emotional.
Yeah, it's crazy.
he's offering her comfort, which is so sweet and like just so like, oh, okay. And then she says that the only thing that will give her comfort, the only thing that will give me comfort is seeing him again. And the reason why that hits me is like, just like thinking about like everyone that you've lost the last few years and everything, or last many years, all that stuff. The one thing that you think of is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, take your time. Take your time. Because this is some tough subjects. Like, I think this episode got a chance to touch on a lot of tough situations, but they did it in a Marvel cinematic way. But some of the stuff,
They definitely
there was
did.
no way to do it any other way that they did it, to be honest with you.
No, and like the one thing that you think of when you lose somebody that you love, no matter what kind of role they played in your life, is like the only thing that's going to bring me peace is being able to see them.
Right.
She got that. She never got that.
Yeah, she didn't get that.
So,
she didn't get that peace. She didn't get that closure. She still don't got
it. I exactly, and like a lot of us don't.
Yeah.
Losing loved ones, friends, family, mentors, what have you.
Right.
That's what got me, and I had to pause that for like 30 minutes. Like just
I got a scene. I got a scene that got me. That one got me. But it didn't get me. But I had another one that got me too. Like, you're watching her kind of like not break down, but you're kind of watching her kind of slowly kind of fall into a depression that she can't even escape no more. Like, it finally just caught up to her, and it was happening. It was happening in phases, in threads. Every time she felt lost, every time she felt alone, she will seek comfort and she'll find it and then she'll lose it. And I think that is where we're starting to see her threads kind of come loose, especially with Vision. Vision said something about like how what is grief, it's just love preserving, and I think that kind of like it resonates so much with what's going on with her. It's just letting you know that for you to have that yin yang situation, for you to feel this pain, that means you love so much. You're a person that loves so much. You put your heart literally out there. But the problem is that every time you do that, you get hurt every time that happens, and it's kind of that one's tough for me. That one's tough. Yeah, it's tough. No matter what side she picks, whether she's a villain or a hero, like, Wanda,
it's hard.
Wanda puts her heart on her sleeve, definitely. Now that we got that, and Agatha even did like a scene where she like kind of wiped away a tear. I thought she was being sarcastic, but I think she kind of understood. I thought she was being sarcastic, but at the end of the day, I also, because remember with Agatha, you don't really know what you're getting with her. She's so animated. Which, by the way, Catherine Hahn is playing the shit out of Agatha. She's killing that.
Oh my God, she's doing an amazing job.
She's killing that because she's able to like smack those tones, just like Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen, obviously, in this episode is amazing. Like, she ain't the same Wanda.
Like, do you see that y'all happy right now?
Yeah. Yeah. She's killing these episodes, but this particular episode, the way that they play off of each other, and you're basically getting obviously Agatha versus Wanda, but it's a psychological battle. This isn't about superheroes fighting and none of that. This ain't what we're used to. This is some psychological witch.
It almost feels like Agatha is kind of jealous of Wanda and how much power she has. She's like, wait, I had to go through all of this.
Yeah.
I had to kill my own mother to get all these powers. Like, how do you just suddenly have them? And I think that's what she's trying to get to.
Right. Also, I love the fact that you said jealous. Good word, because she's definitely jealous. She's curious. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that have seen magic, that has dabbled in these magics and have dabbled for an amount of years that she's dabbled, she ain't never seen anything like this. So as I feel like we're Agatha at times. Like we're like, yo, yeah, we want to kind of know. Like, let me know. Like, how did this go down? Like, I need to know everything. Agatha immediately segues into, so what did you do next, Wanda? I need more. What did you do next? It immediately goes into Wanda going to sword, yo. Now we get what we really came for. Wanda goes to sword. She's like, yo, I know Vision's body is here. I want to see Vision's body. In fact, I want Vision's body because I want to give him a proper funeral. We just buried Tony Stark. We didn't even have a funeral for Black Widow. I ain't even gonna go there. But at this funeral, we got to say bye.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But we just
not get me started.
We just had basically a celebration of life for Tony Stark, which he deserves it. But I want to do that for my man. Like, when do I get to bury him? Hayward, obviously, peeps game. I love the fact that Wanda looked up at the camera too and was like, I see you, what's up? And
she's like,
yeah. Let her in. Come on. Obviously, whenever something like that is too easy, something ain't right. So obviously the guard, same asshole guard from the first, the fourth episode that was giving Monica some issues. She was like, yo, you want me to buzz you? And she said, nah, I got it. Like, I know where I'm going. Like, Wanda was flexing. She got straight to the office and she was just like, yo, what's up? Let me have him. He's mine. Like, let me bury him. And he was like, well, one, nice to meet you. All that dickhead Hayward shit that he normally does. Obviously, it's all show and tell, like, with this dude. Like, this dude ain't never being real, ever. Like, not even in the beginning.
Ever.
Like, his character has been shady from day one. We already knew he was shady from day one. But obviously, he's written so well. I don't want to call that lazy writing. He's written to a point where we're supposed to know he's shady. They want us to know. This ain't a secret. Like, Hayward ain't playing with a full deck of cards. And I feel like every time they do some type of government agency inside the Marvel universe, why do you put these people in power? I don't understand why these people be getting high powers. First you had Hydra in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then now you got this dude running sword. Like, kind of kills me a little bit. It's just like
Hayward, more like, hey, jerk.
Well, we called a Squidward last time, right?
I had
word. Anything with a word we were mad at. Definitely. So wait,
Hayward, jerk.
Hayward, oh man, Hayward does eventually, show Wanda the body, and they are, man, the word. Yo, I haven't been sad to see a robot disassembled since Short Circuit 2. You ever see Short Circuit with Johnny Five is alive and they beat his ass in the street? I almost cried. I was a kid. I was like, this is the most traumatized. And he was leaking the battery fluid and it looked like blood. I said, no. And he kept screaming, I'm alive. I'm alive. The only difference between that is we know Vision is dead. He is offline, especially after what happened to him in Infinity War. But
then when Wanda sees his face, I was like, ooh. I had to pause it again. I was like,
this is the scene that got me because she's beating on the glass. Stop. What are y'all doing? Stop. What? She said, what you doing?
Open. She blows it open and she swoops down there and she's trying to figure out what's going on. They're like trying to explain to her and she's just like, no, stop.
Yeah, but I love the fact that Hayward knew that she was going to react like that after saying like, look, this ain't yours. Like, he ain't yours. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that he said he's not yours, I was like,
yeah.
Oh, she's gonna get hurt.
We're not putting $3 billion worth of vibranium in the ground. That's not happening. But I think Vision signed the Accords, and once he signed those Accords, his body or something might be the reason why Sword is able to even take possession of that situation, because I was always wondering, how did his body even get there? Y'all were gone. Everyone got blipped. You know, when did y'all have time to go to Wakanda and go get him? You know, so based off the Accords, it does make sense that the jurisdiction of his body should have went to them. You know,
like, did he have to word it like that?
Yeah, no. But, he's a dick though. He's definitely a dick. But she was like, look, let her do what she's gonna do. Let her see it for herself. You know, that's all show and tell. He knew that was gonna happen because he wants Vision to come back online. Now I want to know why he wants Vision to come back online. That's the part that's the only question I got when it comes to fuckword. I need to know why he's trying to. Well, as a weapon.
Greed and power.
Yeah.
Greed and
they
power.
always want to turn something into a weapon. David Neff, in his beautiful brilliance, his theory about, he think Hayward wants him to be like the master mode, you know? And that's another deep cut for X-Men, where they got the master mode that basically is like the father to the Sentinels, you know what I'm saying? And just basically the Sentinels is the babies, the master mode is the mastermind behind the whole situation. We create one of those, we'll have Sentinels for. So I was like, okay, that could work, you know, kind of turning Hayward into Gyrick a little bit. That could work out. It's a wild theory, but at this stage of the game, I'm taking all theories. I put all theories on paper. I'm reading them and going, all right, cool. All right, because we've been calling everybody Mephisto this whole time. I really don't even care about if you got a new theory I never heard of, I'll go, you know what? Valid. I'm going to put that on your new theory. Valid.
Like, it could be Venom for all we know, and we don't give a shit.
Exactly. So after Wanda approaches Vision on the slab, you know, it's a nice callback to Infinity War once again, where she's kind of trying to feel if she can feel his presence. And obviously she says, you know, I can't feel you. Yo, that one, I ain't gonna lie. That one right there fucked me up. I was like, damn. Because she's like, I think that was like her lowest at that point. Now she's dear. She's rock bottom now. She said, really? I killed you. Then I watched you die again. Then I came back. You didn't come back. And there's nothing I could do to bring you back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, that one hit home. That one hit home on so many levels. That one hit home. That one hit
hard. Like, I can't feel you. And she's like this, and like over his face, and like, I can't feel you. I can't feel you. And I was like, oh my God.
And you know what's crazy? You know what fuckword did? That son of a bitch, he lied to the audience. He told everybody that Wanda stole the body. She didn't even do that. She went straight to her car and left.
That was another thing that I was going to ask was like, okay, she clearly did not steal the body. So how did he manifest the video to make it look like she
he only showed that. All he did was show, he only showed the parts of her walking in and doing that thing to the lab, like when she lowered down. But he never showed her leaving with the body physically. All he told them. That is very true. So all he showed was the beginning, and then he painted the rest of the narrative to serve his cause for Project Cataract, aka Vision, basically. Cataract. He think he's slick. He ain't slick. He fucked up.
He's like, yeah, I got this. Yeah.
So now we're driving with Wanda. Wanda is literally just driving to New Jersey. That note, I'm not sure if that note was already in the car already, but obviously
I don't think it was.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. She had a note.
Like, looked at it and like, oh.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she like actually opened it and then started driving, or started driving and then opened it.
Well, she knew exactly where she was going. She knew exactly where she was going. I think she already knew that was
when she started seeing everyone in the city of Westview. Like, certain people felt like, I don't remember her name from WandaVision, but she's Kitty from that 70s show.
Yeah. Deborah Coep. Yeah. I already know her name because I watch a lot of that 70s show.
she's just sitting there lonely, sad. She sees all these people that she has taken over and like made hostage, just looking sad and lonely. And she realizes like, okay, I'm not the only one. She gets to where like just an empty plot of land. She's in the plot of land and she opens a note. We can all see it. And it was like for you to grow, or for us to grow old together, or for you to grow old, or whatever. And there's a heart. And oh my God, like I had to pause it again.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was so beautifully tragic.
Yeah.
And she drops to her knees because she realizes that's the home that he wanted for the two of them to raise their family, or to just live together and grow old together, whatever. And when she drops to her knees is when her powers start like coming back again, and she creates the home, and she creates this town of Westview. She creates the hex.
She creates WandaVision.
She creates WandaVision. She created the Pocket Universe. She created the hex. She created all of this. And then and that's how you know how everything was created. And she doesn't even remember actually doing it.
Nah. I like the fact that when she was creating her idea of what Vision was, the energy that came out of her was yellow. And it was basically building him, and he even got an Infinity Stone. Obviously, it's not an Infinity Stone. So she's that powerful enough where she can manifest her own vision in her own reality. Like she can write that with her magic. Like that speaks volumes on how powerful Wanda is, you know?
And not only that, like he's in black and white, and suddenly she's in black and white too, in the retro like outfits and everything.
Oh, I loved it. I love that scene. That scene was awesome. Back to the
first episode, and it's like, hey, darling, this is our Miranda. Like, what should we watch tonight? And he like flips her remote.
I love that. Welcome home, Wanda. I love that.
Yes.
Like, and did you notice the big thing about that? She instantly smiled. Like that was like instant gratification. Like the only way I was gonna be happy again is if I saw you. And I got you for real. I really got you, you know? The only thing that kills me is, and this isn't a bad thing, like, you know, bad plot or bad writing. She was grieving the most for Vision at that moment. Like, damn, why couldn't she just do that for her bro? You know, like, how come she wasn't able to let her brother come back?
I think Vision was the last straw.
Yeah, I feel it.
Vision was definitely
obviously Pietro,
like,
Pietro is a living being.
Done losing everybody in my life.
Yeah. Either that or necromancy, or you know, just raising the dead. That's a skill, you know. And even Agatha was even explaining, you know, between.
And clearly, Wanda didn't know she could do that.
Right.
So maybe if she knew she could do that before, she could bring back her parents and she could bring back her brother.
Yeah, but she even alluded. She even told them kids. She said, "I can't bring the dead back. That's not what I do. That's not what I do." Like even when Agatha killed Sparky for plot development, you know, she's like, "I can't do that, y'all. That's not what I do." And I think Agatha was baiting Wanda at that point. Like, you can do that? You can bring back the dog? Like,
she was trying to get her to do that. Because even the boys were trying to like fast forward in age, and she's like, do not age yourselves. Like, enough.
That's not what we're doing. Definitely. I'm gonna bring up Fietro, but I ain't gonna last that long on it. So Fietro, we all had our theories. We thought he was gonna be like the Evan Peters, Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men universe. No, obviously not. That's definitely not happening. But the idea of him being on the show was still brilliant. The surprise of him being on the show was awesome. And I understand that he's coming back for the finale. So before I get upset at the fact that he's not a whole X-Men from another universe, I'm okay with him being there.
You know what? In the end credits or the post-credit scene for the last episode, Monica is going, like, she's opening the basement. She sees all the purple stuff. And boom, there he is. He's like, what did he say? Snooper's gonna snoop or sneaker's gonna sneak?
Yeah, snoopers are gonna snoop or something like that.
Something like that. Like, okay, cliffhanger. They're neither of them are in this episode, and there was still a post-credit scene with fuck word.
No, I love the fact that I love not knowing what's going on with Monica. I love that because I know we're gonna get it.
Something has to happen in the final episode with her.
Like this, I really
maybe even with Quicksilver.
I think that Bunny might be Evan Peters, but she's obviously was controlling Evan Peters. She said, "Oh, that was just a crystal mirage or whatever. I couldn't bring your brother back in the dead, because he was full of holes on a different continent."
That wasn't me. That was you.
Yeah, definitely. She said, but I knew that you were so distraught and you were so uncertain that you couldn't even put two and two together to know that wasn't your brother. But even though you didn't know eventually, yeah, she's like, I got you in such a vulnerable state that I was able to mess with you, just to that extent. Obviously, you hear the claps in the audience, and Agatha forgot what she needed. The next scene, you hear the kids screaming. You get the Billy and the Tommy screaming for their mom. And yo, that scene just looks crazy. Even for Disney, Disney's dark. I get it. Disney will kill a Mufasa every once in a while, and they'll do some crazy shit. But just watching her string those two kids along by their neck and go like this, okay, girl, now I understand what you are. You may not understand what you are, but I know what the fuck you are now. She's like, yeah, girl, you playing with magic that I've never even seen before. This thing is a myth. This is something mythical. Like what you're doing here is not even supposed to be possible. So
and then
she drops that chaos magic line, and she basically says, you're the Scarlet Witch.
And she gets her name, Scarlet Witch.
And it ends. And for the first time, the villain of the show, Please Stand By, it didn't even say it. There was nothing to stand by because that was so symbolic. Ain't no WandaVision anymore. We on fighting terms now. This ain't no sitcom. This ain't no show. We ain't playing no more. Ain't no Please Stand By. We done with all of that. And I love the fact that Agatha kind of, once again, she represents us. She represents the audience. Like, we done playing sitcom to sitcom to sitcom to sitcom. Like, I'm done playing this game with you. Like, what's up?
My turn.
It's my turn. So you're going to basically reveal to me this power. But I'm also scared for Agatha, too, because at the end of the day, if Wanda is this powerful and she knows it, you playing a dangerous game, especially if you know that she's truly powerful like that. Why would you mess with her? Second, she ain't in that basement no more. She's in her hex. She's in her basement. This is her spell now. So
exactly.
I'm looking
jealous of how powerful Wanda is without even having to try.
Right.
So clearly there's something going on there with why are you so powerful without even trying? And I had to kill like my entire coven to get these powers. I'm taking your twin boys. Yeah, no, big mistake, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You don't
ever your boys, your family.
You don't ever mess with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
If someone took my dog, oh, honey, I'd be John Wick like this.
Yeah. So it's personal now. It's personal. So Agatha all along lived up to its title after she showed her ass. I should say. She immediately continued to show her ass in this episode as well. But I'm so glad that she did what she did. And kudos to this episode for taking us on an emotional journey that lived right up to the synopsis. Like, we got a chance to switch from room to room. It was just like a crazy episode of just mental intervention, Marvel style. I liked it. It was good. We up to the mid-credits.
I had enough of that with Civil War. I had enough of that with Infinity War. I had enough of that with Endgame. Like, for y'all to bring me to my knees again. Like,
there's a lot of people that didn't like this episode, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not gonna be my favorite episode of WandaVision, but it's up there. It's in the top 3 because I love the way it looked.
It might not be my absolute favorite, but it is my favorite in terms of being real and like giving us the answers that we needed, that the answers to questions we didn't even know we had,
and we wanted them. We wanted them bad, and what's crazy,
we didn't even know we had those questions until we saw this, and then we're like, okay.
But you know what's funny? It's also it's very important that you take that time to create an episode like this where you're telling so many different origins and you're basically laying sand down. Like you're basically doing the groundwork for what could be probably a great finale. Like I truly believe you got 50 minutes to wow me. Like you've done all of this setup. Like you've done everything to get us to this point. You can't mess this up. You can't. There's so much goodness to get to, you know? And I'm conflicted now because we get to the mid-credit scene. Let me get that out the way. The mid-credit scene is fucking Hayward. I can't, God damn you, Hayward. Hayward basically Mr. Burns in like, well, I've waited all this time. And I was like, okay, you're finally the second villain, you know, which we already knew you were a villain already. But
oh yeah.
Wanda actually gave him the alley-oop. And kind of Monica as well. By sending that drone in there, they were able to get some of the hex magic, bringing out on the drone, and they were able to use it on Hayward. Reconstructed the fucking Vision like a real fucking villain that has too much damn power. But it's not regular Vision though; it's that white Vision. So this whole thing that they've been doing looks just like a comic book. It's been based on the West Coast Avengers comic book right off of Vision Quest. We talked about it in the movie group. Shout outs to Justin Baker. Shout outs to Henry. Shout outs to everybody that we were talking to in the group. Yo, we talked about this. That spoiler thread was awesome this week. Like that thing almost hit like 150 comments. We talked about WandaVision at night, all the way up until the morning. Like that was one of those episodes that I think people watched it at 12 a.m. or they watched it at 3 a.m. Like, if you was awake, obviously we had adulting to deal with. You know, we all can't stay awake, you know, at 12 a.m. But you know, like that was a good discussion that we had. Just a lot of theories and just a lot of, oh shit, did that really happen? Oh, they said chaos magic. Could that mean this? Could that mean that? Like, so many theories and so many possibilities of where they can go with that. But just the fact that they were able to even drop that on you and say that the Scarlet Witch is something of a myth, that means that there's not a lot of them. And if this is truly what she's going to be stepping into in that next role, and as she transitions into Doctor Strange, I think Wanda's going to be a villain in Doctor Strange too. I don't think she's going to be a hero at all. And I'm okay if she's a villain. I don't think we're going to get a happy ending at all. If the hex comes down, that means Vision comes down. If Vision ain't real,
which is all the more reason for her to become a villain.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. All the literal pain that she's gone through. And like, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Oh my God.
What if
like I would not be surprised. And I said it from what was it? Like our second episode, third episode. I would not be surprised if she becomes a villain. And if she does, she's got my full support.
But they did tease
because of everything that's happened to her.
They did tease one thing. There is one common denominator here that we have to at least give that power to. And the one person that was able to calm her down and legitimately talk to her the right way is Monica. Monica's able to break through to that, you know, especially after the way she rolled up on her. She's like, no, you sent them Pietro, you did this. She's like, nah, girl, that was not us.
No, that was not us.
Listen to me. This is what Hayward wants. Don't give them that satisfaction of you becoming a villain. You don't have to be the villain.
Break that up.
Yeah. She said, what if I already am? which you are Wanda, you the villain, but we understand that you are an accidental villain in this particular situation. Now you are complicit on keep having the hex continue. You are complicit to that, because you know that once that hex come down, your life comes down at that point,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see a happy ending for next week. I really don't, to be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna get the closure we need, but we're gonna get an ending that's realistic to what's happening. Like we already know they lined it up for us to not get a happy ending, in my opinion.
Oh no, I know, but now I'm prepared. And next week I'm not gonna freaking cry on camera.
Okay, so I got.
Maybe I will.
Do you have any theories, or what do you want to think of going into next week?
As far as theories, I don't have any.
Okay.
I mean, only theories I have is we're gonna get more answers, but
nah, this is conclusions
they
now.
make
I
me
wouldn't
cry
even
on
call them
camera
shits answers.
If
Like
they make me cry on camera again,
if you make me cry. So there's a picture.
like,
Marvel.
my family doesn't even see me cry.
Marvel.
My best friend doesn't even see me cry. My dog doesn't even see me cry, and y'all saw it.
Nah, the dog saw you. You started crying on this. You started crying on this episode. The dog was like, "She crying? Okay, she crying." Oh!
He literally walked away from me. He was right here. Right here. He like saw me like
well, Marvel already not leaked because they're Marvel. They don't have to leak anything. They showed a picture of WandaVision and the kids, like basically looking like the Incredibles. Like, look at all.
That was a meme. That wasn't a leak.
No, well, I wouldn't call it a leak, but it is an official photo. That is an official photo from the episode.
I saw a meme where it was like all true crime docs. They were a happy family, and then they look like negatives on a photo until they weren't.
Negatives. No, this was an actual photo of them. They're looking like they're about to fight. Agatha or something, which is fine.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That makes sense because obviously Vision left Darcy, so we don't even know where Vision's at. That means he's heading home. So
where the hell's Darcy?
Still probably caught in traffic trying to, because Agatha got like everything. She got street magicians, everybody blocking her way. Kids, I'm like, first off, we have
kids crossing.
Oh shit,
Darcy. Run the red light.
Like really, like just it was so funny that they would not just run through all of that. Like what? Yeah, that's why I love the fact that Vision just flew away. Like, no, I'm just gonna just fly. I fly. Like what?
He's like, oh yeah, I can do this, can't I? And she's like, I'll be here.
Well, that concludes WandaVision episode 8 review. AKA previously on, AKA the feels, AKA pass me,
AKA my biggest emotional breakdown.
Yeah, that one was deep. That one was deep. What do we got next? We got some Cinema Rehab coming up. We're probably going to be doing some classic versus remake. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming.
We have one more classic versus remake for sure.
Yeah, and it's going to be definitely. We got some stuff coming up. As Dave takes his vacation, you're probably going to see his sabbatical. You're going to see me. You're going to see Selina. You're going to see Jay. We're going to be doing as much as we can while Dave is gone, and we're going to kind of have we're going to be busy. So, yeah. Well, and then when WandaVision is over, then Winter Soldier and the Falcon comes on. What? Yeah. We're only taking like what? It's not that much of a break. It's like a little bit of a break. And then we get right back into some Marvel. But that thing is only 6 episodes though. But we're going to review. I'm reviewing it. I'm reviewing that.
Oh, yeah. No, we are.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all, spoiler alert, that's Selena's boo. Captain America. Even though Captain, I know Chris Evans is not in the show, but it's based on his peeps, so.
I went into work today and there was a Captain America like shield backpack.
Yeah.
And now like in the headset, I'm like, hey, whose backpack is this? And they're like, oh, it's for my coworker's son, Deshaun's son. I was like, I'm about to take it from him. And they were like, you would really feel for 3-year-old. They said he's 3 years old. You would really take that from him? I'm like, yeah, he's 3. What does he know?
He don't know who Captain America is. He don't understand who this belongs to.
Deshaun, if you're watching this, have a backpack.
Your backpack about to get got. Don't let her do that to your backpack.
It already got.
Already got. You over here rocking it in the crib, talking about, should I rock this with my? Oh shit! Should I put these? Should I put these shoes on with? Or should
it's going to be on our premiere of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Definitely.
There was something important that I was going to tell y'all.
3-year-old.
Exactly. Yeah, don't steal from 3-year-olds. I could find you this backpack. You don't even need it. But in true finale fashion, I heard the finale is like 50 minutes long, so we're looking forward to coming back next week, and we're gonna do our last Wanda review. It was a good ride. This was a good ride.
I already feel the tears. Oh my god.
This is a good ride. I feel like it went quick too. Like it went quick. Like we're already at a finale already, so I'm happy that we're about to close this out, but it's kind of sad because we were invested in the WandaVision. We were invested.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
Yeah, so that was
like this waiting for midnight.
Yeah, a chunk of our life is here now, and it's documented, and you guys could always talk about it, and you could always watch these episodes and listen to our opinion about this show. Definitely. So,
yeah.
Where can the peeps find you at? Enjoyed it.
I'm on Twitter at MexEgyptian.
I like the fact that you said that. Yeah. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I reactivated.
Are you on Twitter now? Finally?
Yeah, I reactivated my Twitter. So, Yeah. I reactivated my Twitter. I got my IGs popping. My Snap has been popping, but just to let y'all know, I got all that waiting for you guys. If you guys go to my IG page, BKLV Negrito at IG, I got a nice little link right there for you guys. Just click on that link tree, and you guys will be tapped in with everything that I'm doing. Everything. And then in the future, we'll make sure all appropriate links are at the bottom of the video so you guys can find us and follow us and kick it with us. And as always, everything Beat Network related, we'll be around for that. Back to the Classics movie page. I live there. So as long as I'm not in FB jail, which, by the way, I haven't been in FB jail for 3 days. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud.
Here's a round of applause.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm not trying to go to jail no more. I don't want no more Tampico and bologna sandwiches, Mark Zuckerberg. I just want to get along with you. That's it. I'm good. I don't want to go no more. I don't want to go no more. We good. We got to understand it now. We got to understand it. I got family on Facebook. I can't be leaving them like that. They missed me. They missed me a lot. Definitely. And we're going to close the episode out. You guys have a good one. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the finale of WandaVision.
I apologize for getting so emotional and for breaking down. You guys have finally seen the vulnerable Selina. And yes, she exists. Just not very often.
I might cry next week so I can match her energy.
No, because if you cry, I'm going to cry.
And I cry, you cry, we cry together.